Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Gearhead Daily. And if you haven't subscribed yet, we're very near that 5,000 subscriber mark. So if you could go ahead and subscribe, that would be super cool. And hit that like button, that would also be awesome as well. I am Eric, here to give you some information about the auto world, good, bad, otherwise, and sometimes enraging things with cars and car culture. And today I want to bring you an article I wrote quite a while ago, but this was 10 thoughts for the first time Autocrosser. So if you've autocrossed before, let me know in the comments what you think, if I'm accurate. I've been doing this for, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, kind of off and on for a while. Kind of in different capacities for different autocross places. But I really like autocross because, for a number of reasons. One, it's cheap. Two, it's pretty available in your area, and three, it's pretty safe. The worst thing it's going to do is you're going to muck up your car with a cone. You're never going to you're not going to run into like a pole or anything, or hit a curb or another car, for example. And it's time. That's all you're doing. And you're also running with some people who are new to this as well, but also some people who are pretty experienced in the car world. So if you go and your first time, my advice kind of right off the bat is don't change anything with your car. Just learn your car. I know some guys who are super duper fast in a car with almost zero modifications because it's all 100% that nut behind the wheel. So without further ado, let's jump into kind of what I think 10 things you should know for preparing for your first autocross. Now, the first thing that I always talk about is registration. Find out who your local autocross group is. Mine happens to be mnautox.com. A really good group of guys and gals who run that. Very efficient, really know what they're doing, and very impressed with the way they kind of just cycle cars. We got 130 drivers. Everybody gets 6 runs, and it's usually a very efficient way of doing things. They're very organized, so I really appreciate that. If your group is not, hey, volunteer and make sure that you can get it more efficient. But really, signing up's pretty easy. There's a bunch of classes, and you have to figure out what class you are in. But honestly, if you're going for the first time, just grab that big N. N stands for novice, okay? And in my group, if you're a novice, what you have to do is you have to do at least 3 of your 6 runs with an instructor, because people want to make sure that you're safe. Not that they don't think you're a good driver, but if it's your first autocross, chances are you're not. And that's okay. We're here to learn. That's the whole point, okay? So people will excuse your bad driving or slow driving if you're just honest and say, look, I'm learning, I'm trying to do better, and really use those instructors to your advantage if you've got that big N on your car. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what car you show up with. I've showed up with various different cars just that I think are fun, and if people ask me what's a great autocross car, honestly, get yourself a Miata. Mid to late 90s Miata, relatively cheap. They're little go-karts on wheels, and a really great way to have some racing fun at the same time, safely and relatively inexpensive. So, hey, you know what? You ain't gonna go wheel to wheel, and nobody's out there scouting for drivers. So just go have fun. Don't worry about it. That's the first part, is just registering. If it's your first time, just put novice on your car. Okay. So come prepared. Here's what I'm going to say about being prepared. There are a number of different things that you might need. Usually your first time, if you're going to go and you're bringing like your Focus RS or whatever, or Miata, you're not going to need a lot of tools, but just in case, it always helps to have them with you. Hey, stuff breaks. Simple hand tools will be useful. A 10mm socket, for example. If you need to adjust coilovers, probably one of the best tools you're going to have is a tire pressure gauge. If it's your first time, really, don't even worry about tire pressures. Learn to just drive your car as is. A jack always helps. Spare parts, timing belt, miscellaneous nuts and bolts, a lug nut. Hey, it happens from time to time. You're going to need some tape because you need to put some numbers, just like you see here on the side of your car. Some people use magnetic ones who do this a lot, and it's kind of their thing. But for the most part, just whatever high contrast tape you've got, white, blue, black, whatever color your car is, make sure it's a high contrast color. Bring lots and lots of water. Bring a lunch. Bring a chair. A lot of these places don't have a lot of shade, and you're in a parking lot with a bunch of shiny cars, so it's going to be pretty bright. So, in my opinion, hey, bring lots of water. Okay. Hat, sweatshirt, towel. Yep. Prepare for whatever weather is coming. Here in Minnesota, it can snow. So have clothes for both sets just in case. Yeah, sunscreen, bring a helmet. You need to figure out what helmet is currently allowed in your group. My group, 2010 and newer is what you need. So you need that Snell rating on the back of it. Just double check with your group. Most autocross groups have a website. Go to their forum and have kind of class rules and that sort of thing. You can always go to SCCA's and they will tell you. Most groups follow that SCCA guidelines. So you're gonna go through tech. So make sure you have your helmet and always bring it every single time. My group, thankfully, has some extra helmets, but I don't want to be sharing a helmet with a bunch of other sweaty dudes and ladies. So bring your own helmet. Helmets are kind of, you get what you pay for, but a basic open-faced helmet usually does work just fine. As long as it's got the Snell rating, you should be okay. So show up early and be there early. Usually our group doesn't start running until 9, but the drivers' meeting's at 8:30, and job sign-up is at 7:30. So most guys I know show up at about 6:45, park, get some coffee, do whatever, and it's pretty dark by then, but we're BSing and having a great time. But this is a great time to kind of just relax, take a deep breath, and, sign up for the job of the day. If it's your first autocross, you probably going to get some job shagging cones. You should do this. It is character building. It will build character. So, you're going to have to go through tech as well. So that gives you time when you show up early to go through tech. You don't have to rush through it or anything like that. But basically, the tech inspection goes like this: nothing loose can be inside the car. No fuzzy dice. No radar detectors. No floor mats, etc. You have to have a solid brake pedal. And so they're going to get in, they're going to test the brake pedal. They're also going to look at the battery, make sure that is tied down. Your car can't be leaking any fluids. So generally just has to be pretty safe. So they're going to shake the tires, make sure that there's nothing obviously loose there. And they're going to check your helmet at the same time. So most cars, pass tech pretty easily. My best tech story is when I had my Viper go through tech, and they said, well, where's the battery? And they opened up the hood, and there's no battery. And I said, well, it's behind the tire in the trunk. And they said, okay, open the trunk. So I opened the trunk. I said, well, where is it? I said, well, no, it's behind the tire in the fender in the trunk. And they basically said, okay, well, if I have to pull panels off the car, the battery's fine. So battery was fine. It was no big deal. People want to know about tire choices. Don't worry about it. At this point in your autocross career, don't even worry about it. No one cares. Novice class is for fun. You're learning. You're having a great time. Just really enjoy the time that you've got. Here's a picture of my son wearing my helmet. So you're going to get number 4. You're going to get a work assignment, and if you get there early, you get a chance to do some of the better jobs, which is why some of the experienced guys get there super early so that they can get a really good job. I love doing announcing, A, because nobody does it, and B, as you can tell, I'm kind of a talker, so I put a little quarter in me and I just kind of go. So when you check in, chances are you're going to get cone shagger of sorts, and you're going to be running around a lot, and it's fine, and that's actually probably a good way to do it, because A, you get to see other people run the course, and you get to understand where the line is and that sort of thing, so you get some experience just by watching, so it's a good thing to do, but you're watching hundreds of laps go. It will help you in the long run. So in my opinion, shagging cones is not a big deal, okay? My 5th one, take an instructor. And this is a picture from my local autocross. Free instructors. You get what you pay for, which is totally true. And but I still take them. I still take instructors. Because A, it's fun, because I kind of know the guys at this point. And B, every once in a while they'll tell you, like, hey, look, you should late apex that. You should you're carrying too much speed, you're not carrying enough speed, more steering input, less steering input, more brake, less brake. I mean, they're full of information that's really good. And another thing that a lot of my guys in my group do is they will give you rides in their cars when you're not working or racing, so you can get a ride in theirs. And that's where I learned, at least for the first time, riding in a guy. His name's Dave. Dave, how's it going? Cool guy. Drives a yellow Corvette, and every single turn this guy is at a 45-degree angle. The car is just swaying back and forth. But when it realized I was driving unbelievably slow, and you can really push it and really hang the back end out and have a great time. So the first time you're going to be required to take an instructor with you. Hey, don't take it as an insult. As a matter of fact, I would take it as free advice and at getting better. So always take the advice. I've been doing this for 7, 8, like I said, 7, 8, 9 years at this point, and I still take instructors with me. A, it's great for ballast, and B, every once in a while you'll get some free advice to help you out, go faster. As a matter of fact, my last win at the Street Machine Nationals, I took a guy with me who was a really good instructor. His name's Devin. Hi again. Appreciate the help. Help me get a full second off my autocross time just by riding with me and giving me a couple pointers. And a full second on autocross is a huge amount of time. So that really catapulted me as far as a driver and the experience to kind of win the event. I mean, if it wasn't for his help, I may not have won as I did. So anyway, it really does help. Don't take it as an insult if somebody says, hey, take an instructor with you, okay? Do not take it as an insult. So walk the course. This was usually at the end of the year. There's always kind of some goofiness going on, and these guys built this cardboard car, and they were walking the course this way. But always walk the course. A, it's good exercise, but B, you get to kind of learn and walk the line. Okay, there's going to be a line that the course naturally follows. So in my opinion, always walk the course several times, but keep your path on the line where you want your car to be. Okay. Now, usually in that group of autocross people is going to be the person who created the course too. Pick their brain, because they're going to tell you the thought behind why they created the course the way they did. They're going to tell you, oh, I want you to brake hard here. Oh, here's the gas section, or here's the switchback section, wherever it is. Pick their brain too. So that's a 6.5 there. That's not quite number 7. So yeah, number 7 is talk to people, get to know people, network. This is for fun. Okay, unless you're going to make this a career, which most people don't, because automotive stuff is super expensive. Just realize your first couple times out, you're going to be slow. I was, and that's just the way it goes. You'll get better over time, and you'll get more experienced as you go. But just talk to people. Have a good time. That's, I have never met a group of people who are more helpful in my entire life than the car people, the car culture out there. So one of the things that brings up for me in the, for number 8 is slow down. A lot of guys get caught up in the adrenaline, and they just want to and they end up blowing through the first couple of cones and just plowing through. It is very true. A fast driver can make a mediocre car fast, and a crappy driver can make a fast car very slow. Okay, so yeah, the nut behind the wheel and your ability to control a car is going to impact your time way more than whatever shock you think you're going to get or whatever brake package you think you're going to get. Really, just go out and learn your car and how to control it. Okay, that's the number one thing. Yep. Finally, learn. Yeah. Number 9. I can't emphasize this point enough. It's your first time. You're going to have a lot going on. What job you're supposed to be doing, what time you're supposed to be out. You're going to be confused. A lot of people are going to be giving you advice, and that's okay. But the idea is just take in the experience and learn as much as you can. Because again, nobody's scouting you. Nobody gives a crap if you're fast or slow. They do want to help you, so don't take anybody's suggestions as rude or mean. They're really trying to help you. Okay, and then finally, look, this is car stuff. We're meant to have fun, and that's really all we're doing. Okay, yeah. There's no Formula One scouts looking for talent. Just get over yourself. Yeah, it's meant to have fun. If you spin, have fun with it. You can't do drifting. That'll get you kicked out. But for the most part, just run the course as best you can. Enjoy the time. Enjoy the cheap track time and seat time that you're getting. But don't get blamed for any bad behavior. And the worst thing you can do is when you leave the event, because most people still have the numbers on their car when they leave, is to do like a burnout or some crazy junk on the highway on the way home, because that's the number one way to get our sport a bad name. Okay, so when you're at an event, clean up after yourself. Make sure that you are a good steward of the sport itself. Be a good representative for the automotive sports, because at least in the United States, or at least in Minnesota, that I can tell, it's kind of, getting crappier and crap. The public opinion is getting crappier. So, in my estimation, really be a good steward of this if you can. Okay. So anyway, that's my 10 things for the first time autocrosser. What do you think? Did I miss a couple? Let me know in the comments, and otherwise, have a good day, guys.